Hi everyone, this is Rico from Rico's Retro, coming at you with the second video. And in today's video, I want to discuss three different vintage pieces that are great pieces, and I'm going to talk to you about why they're great, tell you why they're worth a lot of money, and other details I think you'll find interesting. So the first piece that I want to discuss is this vintage Ringer t-shirt, Harvard University. And the reason this t-shirt is valuable is three things. One, made in the USA, which is really key for vintage t-shirts in general. If they're not made in the USA, you often find that they're made in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and of course China. But vintage t-shirt buyers want something that's older, and that definitely means made in the USA. Secondly, the brand, Champion, you can see this tag and you see the evolution of tags through time. This shirt, believe it or not, is probably from the 1960s just based off of the tag. If you look here, you can see the tag, the size, 4244 large, 100% cotton, Champion, Knitting Company Incorporated, Rochester, New York. And this is a Ringer style. It's got a different color collar and hem on the sleeve. And just a basic t-shirt, white with the name Harvard in block text with a small drop shadow. And this is called dead stock because it's never been worn or washed. You really can't call it brand new because it doesn't have the tags, but nonetheless, this is highly coveted because of, the rarity, the content being being a university. People love university gear, and its age. Made in the USA from the 1960s. This piece alone will fetch me probably over $100. The next piece, and I'm kind of going by categories here, is vintage jerseys. So vintage jerseys are valuable based on a few different factors. One, the brand. This is Adidas. You can see it's Adidas original. And it's got the old school trefoil logo. It's like a felt iron-on kind of feeling, so there's a definite texture apart from the jersey material. And this is actually made in Brazil. I'm not sure if you can see the tag, but it's got a rainbow-colored trefoil. And on the back side, it says made in Brazil, and it says IND Brasileira, Indústria Brasileira, Brazilian industry. So made in Brazil. So this shirt is for the club team Flamengo, which plays in Rio de Janeiro. Probably one of the most popular club teams in the whole country, and certainly one of the more popular club teams around the world. Great colors, great logo, and it's got a number on the back and that same felt-like material. Lubrax, which was the company that was the sponsor on the front and back of the jersey. And a jersey like this, because of its condition, excellent condition, the rarity, somewhat rare. I mean, you might go to eBay and find some of these, but you're not going to find these very regularly. And just the content. I mean, it's just a great shirt. I mean, it's just got all the elements that make a vintage t-shirt, a vintage jersey great. And then the last category that I want to discuss is vintage military gear. So this right here is, believe it or not, an old military jacket that my dad gave me. He was in the Army in the 80s, and this is called the M65, and it's called OG 107, Olive Green 107, and this jacket stopped being issued in this color to active military personnel in the 80s. Now they're given camouflage, and it's based, of course, on the branch of service that they're in. But this style became popular, really probably mostly during the Vietnam War. People wore as in protest. People just thought it was really cool. The color's great, well constructed. These things are basically indestructible, very warm in the winter, just very stylish. And these coats go for $100 and up, depending on the condition, the quality, and just how nice it looks and fits. Now, this jacket is from 1980, and the way that you know the age of a military coat is you look at the tag. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up, but if you look here, you'll see a DLA 100 and then 80 that 80 denotes that it's from 1980. So this is one of my favorite articles, my own personal collection, just because my dad was in Germany, in Berlin. It's got a Berlin patch. It's got his name on it. And it's also got the U.S. Army, so the branch of service. So for all these, this jacket makes it to be a really great piece that I love. And that's a great vintage piece. But before the M65, which debuted in 1965, hence the name 65, was the M51. And the M51 is a military coat that basically came about in the Korean War era. And it's very similar. It's a more basic style. And this can fetch upwards of $200 depending on condition or more. And so when you're out sourcing for vintage clothing, when you're looking for great items to sell, I definitely encourage you to get vintage military gear as well as vintage jerseys, especially the more obscure the team, the better. A great brand helps. And of course, vintage t-shirts. So I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. If there's anything else that you want to know, please leave me comments. And I'm happy to reach out to you. So thank you very much. Until next time, Rico from Rico's Retro.